Thank you for coming for the screening of Once Upon a Time in the West. Sergio Leone is beloved by several American filmmakers. Martin Scorsese, who spearheaded this incredible restoration, is one of them. John Milius, of course, John Landis, all that generation, Spielberg. One filmmaker I did not expect to be a huge fan is the filmmaker that is going to introduce this film. His name is Alex Gibney. You know him for being one of the great documentarists working right now. His last film, Knife, the attempted murder of Salman Rushdie, was just shown at the Sundance Film Festival. It's phenomenal, so I hope we'll be able to bring it here. He won an Oscar for Taxi to the Dark Side. He's made documentaries on films on Enron, Scientology, you name it. I mean, he's relentless investigative reporter, great filmmaker, great documentarian, and Once Upon a Time in the West is a film he loves. So I thought I'd ask him to introduce it for us. And here is Alex Gibney.
Hello, everybody in Sag Harbor. Well, you're in for a treat this afternoon. Once Upon a Time in the West is really an extraordinary film. I may have seen this film maybe 20 times. In fact, the main theme from the movie I actually played at my wedding. There's a moment when, as you'll see very soon, when the sad, sort of nostalgic theme full of regret suddenly bursts into a sense of possibility, and that was the moment when my wife and I were married. But I want to point out a few things about the film that may be engaging to you as you watch it. I mean, the most obvious thing about the film is the music. It's so extraordinary, this music by Ennio Morricone, and it's operatic. And each of the main characters has a theme, and Leone even figures out a way to take the musical theme of one of the characters and turn it into a critical plot point, which is really wonderful. The harmonica. And then there's this extraordinary script to this film, because this is a Western that sort of reinvents the Western and invests it. I mean, it comes out in 1968, just when the world is full of tumult and everything's being thrown upside down. And it may have been the first Marxist Western, is what some people have said. One of the screenwriters was Bernardo Bertolucci. Obviously, Leone was the screenwriter, but also Dario Argento. And it's suffused by this great theme, you know. As you'll see in one of the scenes, you know, does power flow from the barrel of a gun, as Mao said, or is it from the is it from a bulging billfold? And that, as you can imagine, is one of the issues that intrigued me about the movie. It's also a really romantic film. It's full of space and quiet and sudden violence. It's exquisite filmmaking in every aspect. It's filmed in loving widescreen. It was a process called Technoscope, which is, you know, the very widescreen, 2.35 to 1. And one of the interesting things to look at here is that of course widescreen is great for magnificent vistas, but Leone figured out a way to make it work for extreme close-ups by using the brims of hats in ways that really fill the frame. And so you can go from very close to very wide in a way that I think is very powerful. I'm also a sucker for films in which the past haunts the present and the present is pushed aside by an inexorable future. And that's what I think this film is really all about. How we live in a moment that is both at once pulling us into the past and shoving us into the future. So anyway, it's just a gorgeous film, so full of so much, and I hope you enjoy the ride, and I'm delighted to introduce it to you, and I hope you like it as much as I do.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Juliet.